All right, welcome back to our channel. Today we thought we would do a bit of a chatty life update. It's been such a long time since we've done that.
Yeah, we haven't done one in a while, so we figured we would review some things.
Yeah, I think at the start of this year I was like, oh, we should do a little life update, and then it's May. So
Well, it's not the start of the year anymore.
Clearly we never did that. Yeah, I feel like this year has just been go, go, go.
It has been.
It's been a lot of trips, a lot of travel.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun, yeah. And by the time you watch this, we'll be in Europe, where we'll be for 2 months.
More fun.
More adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know, where do we begin? I feel like last year we were talking a lot about just like trying to make some big decisions about our life, and a year later I feel like we've still yet to make any of those decisions.
Well, we've made some decisions. We haven't made any like big changes, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of made some changes. We haven't made any we haven't relocated or like done any big moves or anything. I think we've just like leaned into the travel and kind of like found our way to not live in Vancouver in a unique way.
Yeah. I feel like we last year weren't feeling totally in love with Vancouver. I feel like we're still not totally feeling in love with Vancouver, and not even just Vancouver itself. I don't know. There's so many things about just like being in a city, being in any city, like being in a condo building, having like neighbors that aren't super friendly. I don't know. Like there are so many things that we're just like not feeling super into, which maybe aren't even specific to Vancouver. I don't know, but we've just
it'd be interesting if these changes have kind of happened in other places, but definitely like post-pandemic, living in a condo, just has like a bit of a different vibe. Like people used to talk to each other in the elevators. They used to say hi. They used to like, be courteous neighbors and like not do ridiculous things like you be really loud or like leave their dogs for long periods of time and like have them bark for hours and hours and hours and hours.
People just aren't as neighborly as they used to be. I feel like. I don't know. We've noticed big changes, and then we're just like, do we even like this lifestyle anymore of like, I don't know, being in a city, being in a condo. I don't know. Like when we bought our place in Vancouver, we never like intended to live there full time, I guess. And then we sort of accidentally ended up living there full time during the pandemic. Yeah. And it's a small place, and we bought it mostly as an investment. And we're in a building that we can do short-term rentals, which is the main reason why we bought it. So the plan was to always be there sometimes and then mostly travel. And then the pandemic happened, and then we were just living there. And then we were like, do we want to live here? And then last year we were like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We toyed with the idea of like selling our place, like relocating, being based somewhere else. And every time we go through it, I mean, we still have these conversations, and every time we go through, we kind of come to the same conclusion, which is like, it doesn't make sense.
No, I mean, financially, having a place in Vancouver, in terms of Canada anyway, and honestly, like even other parts of the world, it is one of the most expensive cities in the world to own a condo in.
Which is crazy, because we're always just like, if we sold our condo, we could buy a house, pretty much
anywhere else in the country. Yeah.
And then we're just like, why do we have this very expensive condo?
Yeah. But that being said, that also means that when the timing is right to sell,
one day,
then it's going to be good, obviously. Also, do we want to leave that market when it is higher? So
I know. And realistically, the other places we could go to be based without any like major logistical difficulties would really just be like somewhere else in Canada, which we've talked about. And like, where would that be? Like Toronto is the other like obvious choice in terms of a big city. Yeah. That's where we are right now, actually. But that's like, we've lived here before.
Yeah. We've also owned property in Ontario.
Yeah.
And also in terms of like, similar markets, Toronto would be somewhat similar to Vancouver in terms of how expensive it is. So
yeah, and like I can't
not getting
see
a lot more.
Yeah, and I can't see us living here full time again.
No,
like we're definitely just at a different place in life now, and I feel like that wouldn't make sense. It's definitely better than Vancouver in terms of like opportunities and like career opportunities and stuff, but also I feel like we're just working toward being so location independent that it doesn't really matter where we are. So like we wouldn't come here just for that. And then otherwise, other places in Canada, I can't really see us moving, like being based. Like we need to be somewhere like near a major airport. We want to have other stuff nearby that we can like quickly get to. Being in Vancouver is so nice to be able to like get up to the mountains. We're close to the airport. We can like get away. It's close to the border, go down to the States. Like there's just so much that's easy. And then the other thing would be going to the UK, which I feel like we've toyed with for years. And I don't know.
Yeah, I have a UK passport, so logistically that would be easier. Obviously, it used to be worth more in terms of, opening up doors in the rest of Europe. Not so much anymore post-Brexit, unfortunately, but that is still an option for...
It is, but we've looked at that too, and it's like, compare London to Vancouver, it's also incredibly expensive.
Expensive cities.
The weather is also like pretty much similar, not great. Still expensive, like politically more conservative than Vancouver. I don't know, there are so many things that it's just like, would that even make sense?
Yeah, so basically our solution for the time being is to just travel a lot. Yeah. And, we've been quite happy with that. We're still getting to go and kind of experience living in other places without fully committing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to find a good balance because it's also exhausting, like living out of suitcases all the time and being away from home for long periods of time. And like working on the road for long periods of time.
Yeah, finding that consistency.
Yeah, finding a good balance that's not just like so exhausting, like that's sustainable for us. And then also getting home enough that we can like check on our place and like keep it up, because it's still like our part-time home and it still is important to us to like keep it in tip-top shape.
And we care about it, obviously.
Yeah, and so it can be hard not physically being there. Like when we had our house in Ontario during the pandemic, we couldn't get back and we were renting it, and it was just so hard to not like physically be there to like take care of it. And I don't want that to happen with our place in Vancouver. So like being back every few months, just realistically to be able to like physically be there, I think is important.
Yeah, and we have found a way to do that, which is nice. And I think it's been good so far. You seem unsure.
Tell me more. I feel like we were like so adamant that like we need a big change, like we need to make a big change, and then we looked at all the big changes and we're just like, ultimately what we're doing makes the most sense.
Yeah,
you know
so
what I mean?
Would you say small shifts?
What did I say yesterday? Small shifts can equal big changes. I do still think that that's true. No, I do still think that that's true. Because sometimes we just feel like you need to overhaul your whole life. When you really look at it, you're like, oh, actually, it's just really this one thing or these couple small things that we could change, and it would fix it all. Yeah.
So we have all the answers. Just kidding.
No, but I think we do have some of them. And I think that we are finding a better balance. Even this year compared to last year, we're finding a better balance of just like being away all the time, being on the road, but like having it feel like home wherever we go, having it feel sustainable. And I think we're continuing to make changes with like work stuff. I feel like our industry is changing so much right now. There's so much happening, and we're just trying to like make sure that we have the best plan for the future for us so that we can be unaffected by the changes as much as possible.
Yeah, we stay ahead of things a little bit.
Yeah, and just make sure that we're building something that really gives us like a stable future. Yeah. And I feel like we're doing that.
I think so.
Yeah. So I think that's like the gist of where we're at.
Yeah.
This year is just flying by. Like by the time we get back from this trip, it's going to be half over.
Yeah, we're gonna be coming back into summertime at the end of the trip, and that's wild. I think this trip's gonna go by quickly as well, just because it is pretty jam packed. And
we're bouncing around a lot. By the time you watch this, I don't know where we'll be, but we're starting in Amsterdam. We're flying in a few days to Amsterdam, which should be really fun to be there in the spring.
Tulips.
Crossing our fingers the weather's nice. We can do like all the springtime things.
Yeah.
And then we're meeting up with some of Steph's family. She has a bunch of family in the UK, so we're going to do some visits.
Catching the tail end of the football season, soccer season.
Yeah.
And we are going to a big match, Tottenham women versus West Ham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So huge stadium. We haven't been to the the not so new anymore stadium at Tottenham. So I'm excited to go check that out.
Yeah.
And that should be a good match. And actually some of my family members are going to that as well because my dad is from Tottenham. So, you know, we are Spurs supporters through and through, except for that one cousin who decided to rebel and become an Arsenal supporter. Boo. But otherwise, the rest of the family's on the right track.
Yeah, and we haven't been to the UK since, I think, 2018 was the last time we went. So it's just a good opportunity to, like, visit everyone and do the rounds and see all the family and do all the things. And Steph's parents are going to meet up with us there, too. And it should be really fun. I'm really excited to take Theo back there just because it's so dog-friendly.
Yeah.
It's going to be so nice because he also hasn't been, like, he would have been 3. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
The last time we were there.
Yeah,
I don't know where
little.
the years have gone. Yeah. And then from there, we're taking a ferry and going to Ireland for a month to road trip around.
Yeah. So send your Ireland recommendations. We will be renting a car, so we will be out of Dublin a bit as well, not just in the city, and we want to explore as much as we can.
Yeah, we still have a lot to plan, I feel like.
That part we haven't really planned too much. The first part is pretty planned.
Yeah.
The second month, not so much.
When we're doing a lot of trips, it's hard to stay on top of it and ahead of it.
You can't get too far ahead most of the time because it is just like sorting out the details of like what's immediately next.
And yeah, you just need to do one thing at a time. But then sometimes things come up and it's like, oh, we're going to be in such and such place next week. Like, what are we even doing? Where are we staying? What are our plans? Occasionally. So that's what Ireland is right now. We still have a lot of plans to make. But
it's far enough ahead that
it's not that far ahead.
We'll start planning tonight.
Like, we'll be there by the end of this month.
Yeah, it's true.
That's not that far away. Yeah. So, and then what else? We've been planning the rest of our year. I think we're going to do another big road trip through Canada and the US again.
Yeah, in the fall. Got a couple places to go along the way. Yeah. And we're kind of building a trip around that, so that would be fun.
So basically that is the life update, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like, the only other thing we didn't talk about was our plans for are not so much plans. The plans we don't really have yet for building a house on the land that we bought 2 years ago now.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been that long.
It's been 2 years, like this month probably.
Yeah.
Since we closed on the property. We have a whole playlist about it if you want to go catch up. But we bought a piece of land on one of the Gulf Islands in BC, which is the other reason why, like, we know we're going to be tied to BC for the future because of that as well.
Very true.
And sometimes, when we're in the city, I think we're just craving, like, having a place like that to go to.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to be able to use that land and be able to go and enjoy it because it's absolutely beautiful there. We just don't have anything on it to go and stay.
So if you've watched our videos, we've tossed around the ideas of, like, doing an RV, like camper van style, like that kind of thing, or like a tiny house, or just holding out until we can eventually like properly build a house, which just doesn't feel like it'll be anytime soon. And we really just want, the opportunity to be able to go there for, a couple weeks at a time. And I think that would really help with just our lifestyle right now, because when we're home in between trips is kind of when we just want to like relax and stay at home and like be cooped up, like kind of recovering. But then when we do that in Vancouver, we're just like in our small condo where we feel kind of cramped in our building.
And like running around for appointments and stuff. Like
it's not.
There needs to be an actual break. There needs to be an actual like place to go and relax.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel like that with what we have now. So that I think is what we want, which would be perfect. Yeah. But we just haven't bit the bullet yet of like whatever those first steps are going to be. We've more seriously been looking at tiny homes, which I feel like is maybe the route
we're zeroing in a little bit on that.
Yeah, it's a good kind of mix of like bigger than just an RV where we would actually have proper space where we could like comfortably be there for a few weeks at a time, but obviously less expensive than like doing a whole build and just logistically easier than doing a whole build. And it's also something that we could keep on the property for when we do a full build. So tiny homes are like legally classified as RVs, even though they're very different. So it's not considered a permanent structure. So you are allowed to have one as well as like a permanent dwelling, because our property and a lot of properties in that area are only zoned for one permanent dwelling. So it's kind of a workaround of being able to have something that could later be like guest space or rental or just like, whatever we want in the future.
Yeah, and there's longevity with the way they build them as well. So with an RV, a lot of them aren't even like 4 seasons. Yeah. You know, they would like, you would basically have to like winterize it or you know, cover it and stuff for the winter. But obviously a tiny house, you know, is meant to withstand just the elements all year round. Yeah. And then last for years and years and years. And, you know, down the line there would be fewer issues. Just the quality would be much better. So
there are some gorgeous ones. Like there are some local builders in BC that do them. You can do like full custom builds or like one of the models that they have, and they're so nice.
They're so nice.
They're so nice.
And like really interesting and like sustainable and lots of cool things that you can do.
You can do solar panels. You can do them like fully off grid if you want. Like they're just design wise, there are so many things you can do that are really cool. Like they're beautiful. They're so nice. So that's definitely kind of what we're leaning toward. But I just feel like logistically, like we need to be in BC enough to like deal with all of the things. Do you know what I mean? Like even just to get the property like ready and all of that. And so we're just not there enough right now. And so I think we would need to...
Maybe that's what the fall looks like. Maybe that's what later this year looks like.
Maybe. Because we're like kind of in the background, sort of, you know, talking to people, getting quotes, things like that. But then I'm like, are we really ready to like do it? I don't know. I want to, but then we take off on another trip and then I don't think about it for 2 months.
I feel like once we're ready to do it, we will just do it and we will just do all the things and get it sorted.
We're kind of like all or nothing people. So it's like we either go for it.
We don't dive in half-assed. We definitely go
So it's like when we're ready, then we're really doing it. And I think that's why we haven't done anything yet. Because it's like once it's go time, that's it. That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope that is in our future.
I think so.
Like our near future.
I think it'll be.
I hope so. It would be so nice.
Yeah.
It would be so nice. I want somewhere that Theo can enjoy, you know, before he becomes an old little man.
Yeah.
I think that would be so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the other things we're toying with and thinking about and figuring out and all of that.
Yeah. Plates are full?
Plates are full? As I said, plates are always very full. Overflowing.
Plates are full and we're juggling about 20 of them in the air. And that's just how we roll.
That is just how we roll. And
we wouldn't have it any other way.
Anyone who knows us in person knows that.
Yeah. We come to visit family and they all must just think like,
so where are you going? Where have you been? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's what we like.
Yeah. It is what we like.
All right. So maybe we'll end it there in terms of our little update. But I feel like we haven't done a little chatty video like this in so long. I do miss it. It's a nice way to just catch up. Yeah. And I feel like it's the only place where we can really just like talk, you know? We don't get the opportunity to just chat.
Not to each other. We talk all the time.
No, I mean to everyone else.
To everyone else.
You know? All of you. All of you. So I feel like we've just been travel vlogging. Our whole channel has become travel vlogs.
True, it's been a lot of
fun,
a lot of vlogs, a lot of travel.
Yeah.
So we'll do more of this.
Yeah, maybe we'll find more opportunities to just sit and chat.
Sounds good.
So let us know what you want us to sit and chat about.
Yeah.
Because it's fun for us.
We can do that.
We can do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And I think that's it.
That's probably it.
Okay. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.
We'll see you next time.